It comes back to the testimony on the 15th of May, when Representative Hank Johnson of Georgia asked the question of Attorney General Holder. And, now we come to find out that that was not the case. I mean, he is aware of, that Department of Justice going after reporters. And like you say, he signed off on it. The White House has to, step up to the plate on this, because if they don't, if you continue to have President Obama saying he has the utmost confidence in Eric Holder, then he's complicit to what is happening. And as I said, last night on Greta Van Suster's show, Holder's become a drag chute, on the president, and there is no way he's going to be able to move toward having any type of agenda as long as these things are, hanging over his head. So I believe that Eric Holder will not make it to the end of June, because the media has turned against Eric Holder. You just don't have, the conservative news outlets and reporters. You have the liberal news outlets and reporters going after him. And this act of desperation where he tried to bring in reporters off the record, that tells you that they're crying for help. They're on their lifeline right now, and I think that he doesn't survive.
First of all, I didn't get that call for the meeting, but what do you think? Do you suggest that he resign, or you think President Obama is going to get rid of him prior to the end of June?
Well, I think if President Obama is serious, he shows a lot of righteous indignation when he comes out and speaks. He needs to ask Eric Holder to either resign, or he needs to come out and say, I have removed Eric Holder from this position because I have lost trust and confidence in him, because I know the American people have lost trust and confidence in him. Well, it's not just that, her going out and soliciting private sector organizations to provide funding for the Affordable Care Act. Let's go back and remember back in 2010 when, of course, Nancy Pelosi said we have to pass the bill in order to know what is in it. We were told as the American people that it would only cost us $940 billion over the next 10 years. Well, now the latest update is that it's going to cost $1.8 trillion over the next 10 years. And so, therefore, they've got to go out and scrounge money, because they can't do it through the regular order process of going through legislation to do it. And this is totally wrong. I mean, this is something that is a violation of who we are as, the three branches of government, and as a republic, and the separation of powers. So this is huge for her. But on top of that, she's got this $54 million slush fund for these, Obamacare Navigators, which really, when you peel the onion back, there was an article in National Review online this week. This is just Acorn redo. And these people that are supposed to be navigators do not have to have any background checks. They don't have to have any training. They have no understanding or whatever with health insurance computations. But yet they're going to have access to so much of your data. And when you look at what Sebelius is doing over Health and Human Services, when you look at what is happening with the IRS, where the woman who's in charge of the exempt organizations all of a sudden gets promoted. Now she's in charge of the IRS agents, implementing Obamacare, which means that they're going to be looking at you and your records to see if you do have health insurance, or else the individual mandate, we know now, it's a tax. It's not a fine, it's a tax. There are some really big problems coming out of Washington, D.C., and there's another scandal that's going to be coming down, and that's with the EPA and the fact that they've been doing some nefarious things as far as freedom of information.